श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः। We will start with verse number 56. I will do this word by letter, word by word, and then we will do it together. Tavaparne, tava aparne, tavaparne, karne japanayana paishunya chakitaha. Tavaparne, karne japanayana paishunya chakitaha. Niyante, niliyante, toye, niyatamaninesha. Safarikaha. Niliyante toye niyatamanimesh safarikaha. Tavaparne karne japanayana paishunya chakitaha. Niliyante toye niyatamanimesh safarikaha. Yam cha shrirbadha Yam cha shrirbadha chadaputakavattam kuvalayam. Yam cha shrirbadha chadaputakavattam kuvalayam. Jahati pratyushe nishicha vighatatya pravishati. Jahati pratyushe nishicha vighatatya pravishati. Yam cha shrirbadha chadaputakavattam kuvalayam. Jahati pratyushe nishicha vighatatya pravishati. Tavaparne karne japanayana paishunya chakitaha. Niliyante toya niyatamanimesh safarikaha. Yam cha shrirbadha chadaputakavattam kuvalayam. Jahati pratyushe nishicha vighatatya pravishati. अपर्णा देवी का एक नाम है. Aparna means she who does not even eat a leaf. So when she was doing her tapasya, the place where she did her tapasya is called Tapovanam. It is above Gomukh. When we people go for trekking, then up to Gomukh, and then from Gomukh another 2.5 kilometers. Now it's a steep climb. It is a valley called Tapovanam, and that Tapovanam, above the Tapovanam, there is a peak called Shivling Peak. It's a standalone peak which looks like a Shivling. And she did her tapasya in that particular meadow. And that is why that place is called Tapovanam. That is where Shiva came in front of her and told her that you should not marry an old man and you should not marry somebody who is wearing ashes and so on and so forth. That is the place where this Leela happened. So when she was doing her tapasya over there, she first started by eating the leaves and grass that was available in that meadow. And then she gave that up also. And she was living only on air. And therefore she was the rishis over there. They gave her the name Aparna, she who does not even eat a leaf. So what is Acharya? Why is the Acharya calling her Aparna? she does not require the physical means of sustenance that we are looking for. हम लोग को क्या चाहिए? We are looking for dosa, idli, गाजर, winter now, right? गाजर का हलवा, उसमें अच्छी तरह से खोया होना चाहिए, घी होना चाहिए, right? We are all the time looking. Our indriyas are all the time seeking gratification. Even with our eyes, when we see something beautiful, we want to keep seeing it. When we see something ugly, we remove our eyes from there. She did this leela of giving up even food, and that too very basic food, leaves. She gave that up as a lesson that we do not need to satisfy our indriyas to be able to reach the divine. For that matter, actually, controlling the indriyas is what is important. So, Aparna, she gives. Tava karne japa nayana paishunya chakita. So, here it says, your ears, right? Who goes? The fish in the water. You remember in the earlier shloka, we had talked of the fish that are moving around and her eyes, which are extended right up to her ears. And the eyeballs, they move up and down as if the eyeballs are going to the ears to tell things. Now he uses the same analogy and says, Tavakarna japanayane paishunya chakita, afraid of your eyes that go near your ears to tell tales. Who is afraid? Niliyante toye. So the female fish, shafarikaha. Shafarika means female fish. Shafarik means male fish. Shafarikaha. So the female fish, plural, so the female fish. Niyatam animeshaha. Niyatam animeshaha. Animesha. What is nimisha? Nimisha means to blink. One blink of an eye, nimish. Right? Animesha. It's a name of Vishnu. In Vishnu Sahasranama, we have the name Animesha. So he never blinks. Similarly, we call Devi Meenakshi. Her eyes never blink. She's all the time watching. Fish don't have eyelids. So here he's describing, Acharya is describing that they are constantly, without blinking, the niliyante, hiding, toye, in the water. Even goddess Lakshmi, Yamcha Shrihi, Baddha Chadda Putakavatam. The eyelids which are made like petals when they are closed. When they are closed, Baddha Chadda Putakavatam. Kavata means doors. So when they are closed, Kuvalayam, like the blue lily. Jahati, abandoning. Pratyushe, during dawn. Nishicha, during night. Vighatatya pravishati, making forceful entry. Beautiful description. What is he saying? He is saying the female fish, fearing that your eyes will gossip something to the ears, are hiding themselves in the water without even blinking their eyes. Goddess Lakshmi, who wants to be present near your eyes during daytime, abandons the water lilies and makes a forceful entrance into the water lilies only at night to open them. So the water lily, the blue water lily, it opens at night. It's a flower that opens at night. Why does it open at night? Because Shri, who is actually not present in the lily during the day, because Shri has gone to see the eyes of Devi. Shri is sitting in front of Devi, watching the beautiful eyes. It is only when Devi closes her eyes at night to take rest that Shri then moves out, forcefully enters into the blue lily. Therefore, the blue lily opens. Now, Shri is non-different from Devi. Right? Shri is the same as Devi. So, Devi, both in the daytime, she is watching us through the Meenakshi Rupam. Right? And at night time, she is watching us as the Sri Rupam. There is a beautiful Vedic Suktam called Ratri Suktam. And in the Vedic Suktam, the Ratri Suktam, it says that when I go to sleep, the wolves that will come to attack me, please protect me from them. What are these wolves? Even in our sleep, there will be dreams, the subconscious desires that will come to take us away. So even in my subconscious, let my mind be at your feet. That is what the Veda is saying. Similarly here, Acharya beautifully is a master with visualization. So, but sometimes I feel Even this is not imaginary visualization. I think he was actually seeing these things happening in the front of his eyes. Only then such a masterful description can be given. So when normally Aparna is a name. So when Shiva and Parvati, they have very similar names, right? Shiva, Shiva, Maheshwara, Maheshwari, Bhairava, Bhairavi, right? Aparna, Aparna, no, she is a standalone name. So that is why he is addressing her as in the name of Aparna, Aparna, distinct from Shiva. It is before the merger with Shiva. She is her there as a teacher. She is there teaching us that her eyes, which are constantly moving like a fish, are only seeking that bliss which comes from Shiva. So again, in this particular verse, we saw that the Acharya is praising the eyes. In verse number 52, we had already seen Gate ime netre gate karnabhyarnam, right? The eyes which are so long that they are tips of the eyes reach up to the ears. So they keep. Why are fish without eyelids? Because they are keeping a watch on the eyes without blinking. Animesha. Niyatam, animesha, they are watching, right? Afraid that the ears will be told some stories of the naughtiness that the fish are doing. What does this mean? It means that you are also constantly under observation. Now, if you think, oh, I am doing this secretly, then question is, she knows. And the book of karma is written. And that you cannot escape. So we have to be careful of how we behave when we think we are alone. So the human mind is actually her gift to us. And it can be taken up to that level is which Acharya is continuously teaching us. So when the fish are constantly watching her eyes, what has happened to the mind? The mind has become still. And when the mind becomes still, what will happen? The fish will go and merge with her. And she will take on their name. She will become Meenakshi. Such a beautiful verse. So, 56. Yes, Sita, you want to say something?
Yes, in the book that I have, it says Tavaparne Karne Japanayana Paishunya Chakita, not Chakitaha. No, aha,
okay,
the
there.
Visarga.
Okay, now my book says there is a Visarga. So, I don't think that the meaning will change. I will, however, check that.
Then the other question was when we were talking about the blue lotus, there are some references to Devi. She's called as Nilotpalambika, Nilotpalanaika. And does that refer to the blue lotus or does that refer to any other meaning about Devi?
No, it refers to the blue lotus only. Why did that thought come?
Most of my name references, either they come from shloka or they come from kriti. So there are kritis which have Nilotpalambika, Nilotpalayamikaya,
Okay.
Nilotpalanayike.
Somehow, my verse number 57, I can't find in the book. Just 1 minute. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So next, so should we go to the next shloka? Right. Drishadraghiyasya daradalita nilotpalarucha Dragiyasya daradalita nilotpalarucha daviyam samdinam snapaya kripaya mamapi shive daviyam samdinam snapaya kripaya mamapi shive Drishadraghiyasya daradalita nilotpalarucha Daviyam samdinam snapaya kripaya mamapi shive anenayam dhanyo bhavati nachate haniriyata anenayam dhanyo bhavati nachate haniriyata vaneva harmyeva Vaneva harmeva samakarani pato himakaraha Vaneva harmeva samakarani pato himakaraha Anenayam dhanyo bhavati nachate haniriyata Vaneva harmyeva samakara nipato himakaraha Drishadraghiyasya daradalita nilotpalarucha Daviyam samdinam snapaya kripaya mapapi shive Anenayam dhanyo bhavati nachate haniriyata Vaneva harmyeva Samakara nipato himakaraha. Drisha, to look. Draghi yasya. Dirgha, from dirgha the word comes draghi. So yasya means that. So lengthy, dirgha, right? Rasta dirgha hai. Dirgha means long, right? Dirgha ukar, dirgha ikar, long, correct? So similarly here, draghi yasya, long. So he's saying, long look. Draghiyasya drisha. Nilotpala rucha. Nilotpala, we have already seen just now. Nilotpala, fully blossomed blue water lilies. The beauty of rucha. Daradalita nilotpala. Daradalita, fully expanded, fully opened. Daradalita nilotpala rucha. Davi yamsam. Davi yamsam. Farther, far away. Deenam, miserable, deena, destitute. Napaya, kripaya. Kripa, we have understood, we know this. Kripa means compassion, kripa means her grace. And snapaya means to take bath. Mam api shive. Mam api shive. Also me. O Shiva, O Shiva, O Shive, O Parashakti. Anena, because of this, I am dhanya bhavati. I am very fortunate. I am dhanya bhavati. Nachate hani riyata. It is no loss to you. You have no, it will not cause you any loss. Vaneva, either in the forest, harmyeva, or in the palace, tamakara, nipata, tamakara, equally, nipata, falling, himakaraha, the moon. So he says, Hey Shiva, Shiva means auspicious. Shiva means, oh auspicious Parashakti. Please look at me. Just look at me. Give me a nice long look. Who am I? I am somebody who is standing far away in misery. Shower your compassion to me with your long, again, the word draghi here, draghi yasya could mean either it is her long eyes or we want a long look. Give me a beautiful long eyes, which are beautiful like blossom lilies. For you, it is no loss. For you, this kripa, it is no loss. You are showering it anyway. Right? Just exactly as the moon showers his beauty, his beautiful rays on the forest and on the palace. Now, there are multiple layers in this meaning. One, when we go to a temple, see what happens mostly. Let us say that you go. Nowadays, we all try to buy VIP tickets, and then we try to find out iska pehchan hai, and then you want to shorten the standing in line and all that, right? One of the things that standing in line in the temple teaches you that you have to have patience. That is the first learning. जाइए लाइन में खड़े होइए, अपने आप पेशेंस सीखने को मिलेगा. But by the time having stood in that hot sun, and nowadays they repair all the temples, and they remove the grass and they put stone, so the stone is also hot, and then you are standing in that hot sun, and there is hot from the beneath, and you are surrounded by people who are hot and sweaty. This is called Panchagni Tapasya. In earlier days, rishis used to do Panchagni Tapasya by putting fires all around, standing inside the sun. You have Shatagni Tapasya because the floor is also giving heat, right? By the time you reach the temple and the Garbhagriha, you are fed up. All thoughts of divinity have gone. So Acharya is saying, don't go anywhere. Where you are, he will reach you. Just exactly as the rays of the moon reach everywhere. They reach everywhere. You don't have to go. Now, does this mean we should not go to temples? No. That is not what he's saying. He is saying that she is available everywhere. It is up to you to make her available to you. Right? Now, in some places, the availability becomes easier. Those are places of power which are called, we call them temples. Right? We call them places of power where her grace becomes more easily accessible. That's all. It is like a window. That place has a window. So you can see the moon directly. Otherwise also the rays of the moon are falling. That is number one. Number two, sometimes we can't go and reach because you know what? This happened last time I went to Tirupati. So I had bought 500 rupees ka ticket or some 1000 rupees ticket. And normally I buy that ticket. Basically the assumption is, okay, otherwise I would have put 1000 rupees in the hundi. The money goes to the same place. You buy the ticket, you get one small benefit also, right? And so I was standing in the line, 1000 rupees wala line. 1100 rupees line is supposed to move faster. Suddenly that line got stopped. Why? Because VIPs came. Some minister or some minister's son or PA to the minister, right? The minister himself may be a very humble person. People surrounding him become very proud. So they will come with all their dandas and everything. So they came and we got stopped. That is why he's saying, I may think that I am very important. I may have done a lot of tapasya to reach you. But there will always be some Brahma, some Vishnu, some Shiva, some Rudra, some Indra who will come and jump in front of me, and he will occupy the place. In earlier shlokas, he has also said that your feet are being constantly worshipped by the crowns of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are shining because of the radiation from your nails. That is causing their crowns to shine. I am such a miserable person. Deen. कृपा करो दीन जने, हम लोग गाते हैं ना भजन में. तो कृपा करो दीन जने, we are the deen, we are standing far away. So what I want from you, I don't want to catch hold of your feet. I don't want to touch your feet. All I want is one long look, acknowledging that yes, I know that you are there and my kripa is with you. And then he says, he uses the rays of the moon. Why not the sun? There are multiple reasons again. Moon has been very closely associated with Devi because of the kala, right? Tithi Devata. In the Sri Yantra, we see there are Tithi Devatas. When we go to the Sri Vidya, I will explain all the Tithi Devatas and the Nitya Klinnas, Nitya Kalas. All of these are there. So the moon is very closely associated. Her 15 Tithis are correlated to the 15 lettered Panchadashi mantra also. Kaya Hirim jo mantra hai, the Sri Yantra, Sri Vidya ka jo mool mantra hai. And So she is said to be having all the 16 colors. What is the 16th color? The new moon. She is supposed to have all 16 colors, right? 15 tithis from Prathama to Paurnami, and the 16th one being Amavasya. 16 colors. She is full of those 16 colors. So she is compared to the moon. Secondly, can you look at the sun directly? Now, only for few minutes, few seconds at sunrise, we can see. After that, she takes on the form of that bright sun. So when we can see her, she is described as Aruna. Right? Remember the Dhyana shlokas of Lalita Sahasranamam? She is described as Aruna. She is described as Aruna. Even then, she is described as Sahasrakoti rising suns. So even there, we can see her only for a short while. But that same her brilliant light comes to us reflected through the moon. It is absorbable. We can absorb it. Another way of looking at it is you cannot approach the ultimate divinity of the sun, which is Shiva, without the filtration done through Devi. Directly Shiva के पास जाएंगे, जल जाएंगे, भस्म हो जाएंगे. मगर यदि चांद के थ्रू जाएंगे, if we go through the moon, you can receive the rays of the moon so beautifully. Because you can continuously look at the moon. Whole night you can look at the moon. Nothing will happen to your eyes. So here he describes her as the moon's rays. Your drishti is like moon's rays, which is equally falling everywhere. The sun's rays are also falling equally, but you're not absorbable. Sun's rays fall very strongly. We put up an umbrella, we wear sunglasses, we close the windows, we put the blinds. But when the moon's rays are coming, what do? Oh, we exactly do the reverse. We open the windows. लोगों को बुलाते हैं, देख देख चांद उगा है, उठाया चांद उठाया, right? And then Meena ji, after the Kojagiri Purnima, for the fourth day after Kojagiri Purnima, she will wait for such a long time, waiting for the moon to rise, right? So, so the whole concept here with which Acharya is trying to talk about is through this entire practice of approaching Devi not from a dualistic perspective, but from the perspective that what we are thinking is the moon is actually nothing but the reflected glory of the sun. So, if you look at it from the Advaitic perspective, the Mahavakyas such as Tattvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi or Prajnanam Brahma, these are revealed in the Upanishads. They are revealed in the Brahma Sutras. The Upanishads, let us say, all the Bhagavad Gita Upanishads and all are, Brahma Sutra are all derived from there. This essence of the highest knowledge, it is there with us all the time, but it gets covered. So we need the illumination that comes with her grace. So therefore, she is adored as omnipresent. She is adored as being present in all forms as light. And that is why he takes the comparison with the moon. And he says, when the moon shines, it falls on all objects without discrimination of good or bad. Everybody is equal. It is up to us to open ourselves and receive those rays, receive that grace and use it. So that is what this verse is talking about. Right? Any questions? Okay, let us start with Yoga Meenakshi Stotram. So the Yoga Meenakshi Stotram, it has 14 or let me just check again, 16. It has 16 shlokas. And thank you, Sitaji, for asking me to teach this particular shloka because it was not there in my normal list of things that I would have studied. So I spent this during this time. I actually dived deep into this particular stotram. I also had a wonderful opportunity to be at a place in the Tenkasi district recently. It's a temple to Ayyappan created by Agastya Muni. And it's in a place which is very near to what is called Agastya Falls. So, which is, it's called Agastya Falls because Agastya Muni's cave was over there. When Agastya was asked to go to the south by Shiva. So Shiva and Parvati were getting married. All the beings in this world, Chara and Achara, Chara Achara, all of them, they moved to the north near Badrikashram, right? Sorry, near Kedarnath, at a place called Trijugi Narayan. And they all moved over there to watch the spectacle of Shiva and Shakti getting reunited. So the earth started losing its balance. And at that time, therefore, Shiva told Agastya Muni, go to the south. And your weight alone will be good enough to balance this entire earth. So Agastya obviously complained and said, why me? और कोई नहीं मिला क्या? मेरे को ही सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा. समुद्र पीना है मेरे को, वातापी को मारना है मेरे को, विंध्याचल को दबाना है मेरे को, सब कुछ को मेरे को ही खाली बोला जाता है. तो शिवा से अच्छा एक काम करो, तुम जाओ ना बाबा, मैं तुमको टीवी देता हूँ. तो टीवी में तुमको सब दिखेगा, लाइव ब्रॉडकास्ट. You will see the live broadcast of the entire episode. Full web series will be available to you. No payment to be made. So he agreed, poor chap. He went as he was going. So even then he refused. So he said, no, I'm not going. So then the Divine Mother came and told him, look, you are worshipping me, aren't you? Now I am telling you, not that poor chap of my husband. He doesn't understand all this. I understand. You go. I will bless you. So she went he went with his wife. As he was going, he had a vision of a huge temple where the image of Ayyappan was sitting over there and was being worshipped with gold and pearls. So he reached that particular place and he saw nothing over there except one small Shivalinga called Mahalinga Swami, and the yoni is in the form of Devi. No, nothing else was there. So he said, but I saw a huge temple here and the son of Shiva himself being worshipped over here. So he created that entire temple over there. And obviously when he created the temple, he also created a Devi Kshetra over there, being a Devi worshipper himself. So he created a Devi Kshetra over there. And I had the great fortune of sitting in that particular Kshetra for almost 2 hours. And because I was studying this particular stotram, managed to get some beautiful insights also in that particular place. So I have firstly to thank you for instigating this particular stotram. Now, let us, so this particular stotra has been written by Agastya Muni. Right? Yoga Meenakshi Stotram, written by Agastya Kriti. It is an Agastya Kriti. Now, first let us understand Meenakshi. Before we understand Meenakshi, what is her real name? Anybody? Any idea?
Parvati.
Meenakshi's real name is called Raja Matangi. He is called Raja Matangi. So that brings us to another question. What is Matangi? So Matanga means elephant. Matanga means elephant. Matanga Rishi. There was a Matanga Rishi. he did a deep tapasya in a place at the banks of the Pampa River in Kerala. And in his deepest tapasya, which apparently lasted for some hundreds of years, he managed to propitiate Devi, and she manifested in that particular place. And therefore, she got the name Matangi. Right? She got the name Matangi. Matangi is actually there are two Devis, isn't it? We have seen Shamala and Varahi. ललिता सहस्त्र नाम में हम लोगों ने देखा है श्यामला, दंडिनी, राइट? दंडिनी, मंत्रिनी. दंडिनी इज वाराही, मंत्रिनी is Shamala. Shamala Dandakam. There is another beautiful stotram. This is also for Shamala. Shamala is nothing but Matangi. Shamala is Matangi. So she was born. So how did she manifest? What is this particular form of Devi and how did she manifest? There are multiple stories of her manifestation. Number one, she is one of the Dasa Mahavidyas. Right? In the standard order, she is given as the 9th Dasa Mahavidya, the 10th one being Kamala. Matangi in the form of Shamala and Kamala are present inside the Garbhagriha at Kamakhya. They don't have separate temples. Other than that, there are various places where there is a temple for Matangi and so on and so forth. Matangi, another story of Matangi, how she manifested, was one day Vishnu and Lakshmi, they came to Kailash. And Lakshmi told Parvati that you are the feeder of this entire universe. You are Annapurna. But today I have this very strong desire. I want to feed you. So Parvati smiled and said, okay. So Lakshmi cooked a beautiful meal. And then, typically हम लोग भी करते हैं ना घर में, आप सर्व जब करते लगते हो तो हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, नहीं नहीं आप ही बैठिए, आप भी खाइए साथ में. So Lakshmi was serving and Parvati said, no, you also sit, we will eat together. So they put all the vessels together and they were taking food on their leaves or plates or whatever they were eating. And when they were eating, food from their hands or from their plates fell onto the ground. होता है हम लोग के सब ये होता है कि नहीं, राइट? खाता खाते नीचे कुछ गिर जाता है. What fell is called Vishnu Prasada and Shiva Prasada, right? From their plates it fell. And the power of that prasada, immediately it generated the divine form in the form of Laghu Shyamala. He was light dark. Shyamala means dark. Light means not jet black, not Kali. This is Laghu Shyamala. So when she manifested in the form of Laghu Shyamala, she said, what is my role? What am I supposed to do? So both the Devis together said, look inside and realize who you are. I am Lakshmi sitting here. She is Parvati sitting here. Who do you think you are? I am actually Saraswati. So he said, yes, I will take on the form of teaching. So Matangi quite often is demonstrated as holding a veena in her hand. She is the tantric form of Saraswati. She is the tantric form of Saraswati. Saraswati has two tantric forms. One is called Tara. She is also called Neela Saraswati. And the other is called Matangi. In that form, she is displayed as having various ayudhas, but she also has the veena in her hand. She has book in her hand. She has a Akshasutra in her hand, and she has a parrot. Parrot, obviously, we can understand, signifies the memory, the repetition, and so on and so forth. Akshasutra defines the japa, the control of the mind. Veena signifies the power of music. The book obviously signifies the study of subjects, whatever the subjects are. And then she also has various ayudhas. These ayudhas are all controlling ayudhas. She has an ankusha. She has a pasha. She does not have bows and arrows. She has things that help us to control the mind. So how do we worship her? Every time we are having speech that you can hear, it is her upasana. Speech has 4 forms. In Hindu Sanatana Dharma philosophy, we have 4 forms of speech. One, where it is purely in the form of knowledge, not even expressed. That is called para, highest form of speech. From para comes pashyanti. I have got the idea of what I think I want to say. Pashyanti, the idea has come into my head. I can see that idea, pashyanti. The idea has taken the form of words, madhyama. The words have come out from my lips, vaikhari. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? बिखर गया. They have come out, right? बिखर गया, vaikhari. Vaikhari speech is Matangi's worship. Every word that we are uttering right now, every word that I am uttering is nothing but an upasana of Matangi. If we live with that realization, then think about how our speech will get modified. Think about how our speech will become so gentle. It will become so much richer. Every time somebody is dancing, somebody is expressing himself or herself in the form of music, it is Vaikhari. And that is a upasana to Raja Matangi. But Matangi has another very terrible form. In that form, she is called Uchchishta Matangi. Uchchishta, because she came from Uchchishta. What is Uchchishta? Uchchishta means leftover. Right? आपका मेरा खाना जब नीचे गिर जाता है तो या उसमें जो जूठा है उसको हम लोग झूठन बोलते हैं, उसको हम लोग उच्छिष्ट बोलते हैं. भगवान का जूठा क्या होता है? प्रसाद होता है. Right? So Uchchishta Matangi, the worship of Uchchishta Matangi is to break all constructed norms that we have in our mind about worship. It is said that Shabari did not get moksha. Shabari, she was the disciple of Matanga Rishi, right? So Matanga Muni, when he said, my span of life is over, now with Yogagni, I am going to cremate myself. Shabari said, I will jump into the same fire and I will immolate myself. Matanga Rishi said, no, you wait here. Parabrahman himself in the physical form will come and give you darshan. So now she sat there every day thinking, oh, I will get darshan, I will get darshan, I will get darshan. One day, in her intuition, she realized that Parabrahman is coming. So she picked up all the jungle fruits. Right? In Valmiki Ramayana, it does not say कि बेर थे. Right? ये तो बात की one story addition है. It says jungle fruits. So she picked up a lot of fruits from the jungle and she tasted each one of them and said, oh, this is sweet, this is not sweet, this is sweet, this is not sweet. And that is why when Ram came, Lakshman said, Bhaiya, ye jhoota hai. And he said, no, this is prasada from bhakti. I will still eat it. And Ram ate that. But Shabari did not take moksha. Do you know why?
उसके मन में अच्छे बुरे की वो थी
Absolutely. Correct. उसके मन में अभी भी अच्छा ये है, बुरा ये है. बुरा भी ही परब्रह्मन है, ये उसके मन में नहीं था. इसीलिए शबरी को मोक्ष नहीं मिला बोलते हैं. उच्छिष्ट मातंगी helps us to cross this. So you know how Uchchishta Matangi is worshipped? You have to go to the toilet. Come back from the toilet without washing. Sit down to eat food. Eat with your left hand. With food in the mouth and your left hand with the polluted state, jhuta. She is to be worshipped with your left hand. And what is she worshipped with? She is worshipped with the same food that you were half eating. Now, for a typical puritanical viewpoint, नहाए बिना खाना नहीं है, बाथरूम जाएंगे तो हाथ धो, पैर धो, कुछ लोग तो पूरा नहाते हैं. And Uchishta Matangi says, overcome all those barriers. All barriers. No barrier can stop you from reaching me. You create your own barriers and say, oh, you are wearing this particular thread, you have tilak on your head. All that is irrelevant. That is all external. Your concepts of polluted and non-polluted are all external. What you think is shit was 6 hours ago, pulao. It was some rasgulla. Nothing different. It is merely the same Panchabhuta having taken a different form. And you are saying it is polluted, it is not polluted. Everything that is in Prakriti is me. Last part. So how does Rajamatangi land up in Madurai? So Malaya Dhwaja was a king. And while some records say that this temple is from some 1100 AD or something of that sort, Tirujnana Sambandar, who is Myanmar, who is one of the 63 saints of the Shaivite tradition in South India, one of the early ones, 4th century BC, 4th century AD. He has written about Madurai and Meenakshi. So obviously, 4th century, we can say that she was already there. Even earlier, in the writings of the first Sangam, first Tamil Sangam, there are mentions of Madurai and there are mentions of the temple over there, right? The grand temple that has got constructed, that is the recent phenomena. That is about 1300 AD. There were certain kings of the Pandya dynasty who created that. But Meenakshi has been there in Madurai for a very long time. Kanchanamma and Golden Mother, literal translation, and Malaya Dhwaja, king who had a flag which had a mountain on it, Malaya Dhwaja, they didn't have a son. So they did a deep tapasya to Shiva. And when they were doing the tapasya to Shiva, they got a boon that they will get a child. Instead of a son, which they were praying for, they got a daughter. So then Agastya Muni told them that don't worry, this girl is actually Mahabhagavati herself, because this child was born with 3 breasts. And when she meets the person she is supposed to marry, the 3rd breast will automatically vanish. Now, this girl was being brought up as a son. So she learned how to do battles, she learned strategy, she learned tactics, she learned how to ride an elephant or a horse. She learned governance. And one day, in her roaming around for governing the kingdom, she landed in the forest and she found a stone. And in that stone, she found a huge radiation that was coming, which made her fall in love with that particular stone. And she sat down in tapasya over there, giving up all her kingly royal attire and everything. And from that stone manifested a very beautiful form of Shiva. Not the usual form which has all the ashes and the snake and the dripping. He wears a elephant skin. He wears an elephant skin. Krittivasa, right? Krittivasa means Vasa means to wearing. Kritti Vasa means elephant skin. And the elephant skin is such that it is dripping with blood. It is a fresh elephant skin. Such a form. Instead of that, he came up with a very beautiful form. Sundara Shiva, also called Sundareshwar. And the moment she saw him, her third breast vanished. Sundareshwar accepted her. And this is a local belief that Vishnu acted as her brother and gave her in marriage, did the Kanyadan for her as her brother, and gave her in marriage to Sundareshwar. So that is how she landed up in the Pandya kingdom, and she became established over there as Raja Matangi. And therefore, in the entire stotra of Agastya Muni, we find the line coming repeatedly, Pandya Balam. We will see the line Pandya Balam, daughter of the Pandyas. So that is why she is called Pandya Balam. If you ever go to Meenakshi temple, if you go to any Shiva temple, there is always Devi present. But Devi is the secondary deity. The temple is a Shiva temple, right? So what happens at night is that the power of the idol is transported into either a kumbha or a pair of slippers and is taken to the Shiva Sannidhi. It is taken to the Garbhagriha of Shiva. And they put that over there so that they are supposed to be together, Shiva and Parvati together at night. During the day, they have their own duties, so they live in different rooms. In the Meenakshi temple in Madurai, she is the princess. Sundareshwar is the secondary deity. He comes to her room. So they take a pair of silver padukas, they transfer the power into the silver padukas, and in a procession, they are brought. Then the padukas sit along with the Utsava Murti, they do jhula, and then they both go inside and they drink milk at that time, which is given as prasadam, and then they go inside and the doors are shut. So if you ever land up in Meenakshi Madurai temple, you should spend a day, you should spend more than a day, because the rituals over there, they are all very different. They are conducted very differently. They are done in a very different manner. There is a beautiful Ganesha over there who is given one modaka per day. And that modaka requires 20 people to carry. It's a huge modakam. So that itself is another thing that is done early in the morning. So seeing that from there till the whole day, till the end, when you see how she is put to bed, it's a wonderful experience. The image of Meenakshi is supposed to be made of emerald. I doubt whether it is emerald. From my perception, it looked like jade more than emerald. But again, it is green in color. It is green. So, and unless somebody takes out a piece and goes and studies it under a microscope, we cannot figure out. But from a distance, a distance not very far, but at the entrance of the Garbhagriha, from there as close as possible, the stone looks like jade, not like emerald. So that is about Raja Matangi. And then we will start with the shlokas from the next session. Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.